great guy to teach you because he...
After the missed free throws, LeBron with a dunk. He's tied this game at 60.
Well, we were going through this Los Angeles Lakers team, and I was trying to figure out roles for everybody as we enter the 2022-23 season. And you want to know what's crazy? The person that I ironically had the hardest time figuring out what their role will be on this Lakers team, if it's going to be successful, is none other than LeBron James. I cannot for the life of me figure out what should LeBron James be for this team and what's realistic for him to be at this point in his career. I knew a couple years ago LeBron needed to be the point guard. I knew during that championship run LeBron needed to be the forward that allowed Anthony Davis to cook. I don't know what I need from LeBron right now. And part of the problem, which I hate using the word problem, that's almost like an oxymoron. One of the reasons why it's so hard to put a role on LeBron James and figure out what exactly this Lakers team needs from him to be successful is because LeBron's just too great for this point in his career. I know that sounds ridiculous, but let me explain what I mean by that. LeBron James isn't aging not only like the normal human, not like the normal basketball player, but he's also not even aging like the normal legend. Like not a top 50 great player of all time, not a top 40, top 30. LeBron's not aging properly for like top 10 players of all time. You got to think, at this juncture in Michael Jordan's career, his body was shot to hell. He had been beat up by the Pistons and other physical teams in the 80s and 90s. His mental was probably more shot than his physical. He had been through so much, being the global superstar of the NBA, the guy that literally made the league what it is today in a lot of ways. He had his father pass away, the rigors of winning 3 championships 2 different times, back to back to back. The brand that he accomplished with himself and then Nike, his mental was probably more shot than his physical, and we know his physical was shot. Kobe Bryant, remember, had his knee scoped. Don't forget about that early in his career, and he had went out of the country to get some other work done that we don't know a lot of details about over the years, right? He had got also, when he tore that Achilles, to me, that was the end of Kobe Bryant on the back end of his prime as we know it. So we knew Kobe's in. I still have a hard time figuring out what is the last chapter in LeBron's career. I know about 89 to 94% of LeBron James's book. I know it, right? I am having a hard time figuring out what is LeBron James's chapter. There are a few different things on the table, too. Could it be LeBron James leaving his prime athletically? He's no longer a guy that dunks the basketball. I don't see that, but I guess it could be that part, and then LeBron just walks away from the game because he's not able to kind of match the energy and match the effort or match the athleticism of guys that are younger than him that should be more dominant, more athletic than him. Is that the last chapter? Is it playing with his son? Is that what leads him away from the game of basketball? Like, yo, my boy's got it now. I want him to be the only Bron James in the league, right? Or what about LeBron, the businessman? Does him becoming an owner of a franchise or having the opportunity to become an owner of a team in Las Vegas or Seattle, does that make LeBron James say, okay, enough of the player, I'm thinking about the next 25 years, let me get away from the game so I don't be a conflict with the league? I don't know what the last chapter of LeBron James's career looks like. I don't even know if it's with my Lakers. I have no idea right now. And because LeBron James is still able to physically look the part, and when he wants to still be the part, it's confusing what I believe LeBron James' role to be. Because think about it. In theory, with LeBron James' size, his dominance, his strength, his incredible athleticism, you would want LeBron James to be the 3 on this team. The guy that defends at an elite level, can score the rock. With LeBron's ability to pass the rock, you want him being the point forward, the playmaker on this Lakers team. But the reality is LeBron's about to be 38. LeBron's look, he's not playing defense for 48 minutes anymore, even though he still looks the part. That's the problem. He still looks like he can defend for 48 minutes, but he's not that guy anymore. He's rich and he's getting older. Rich old people don't do the day in, day out necessities. They pay people to do it for them. Like, he's a rich person, and in NBA terms, he's old. So, like, he's not going to defend Mikal Bridges locked in on a Tuesday night in a regular season. If LeBron can get to the postseason, maybe he can muster up enough to do it for 6 weeks in a row for a playoff push. But even that's asking a lot of a guy that's been in the league now in his 20th season. He still looks the part. You still see some fancy dunks. Kobe wasn't dunking like this at this point in his career. Neither was Mike. Neither was Magic. LeBron can still dunk pretty darn well. He's still a top 10 dunker in the league. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There are still dunks that LeBron James does that nobody else in the league can do, and he's, again, entering his 20th season. That doesn't make sense, by the way. Still able to lead the league in scoring, that doesn't make sense. Again, if you hear those type of accomplishments and those type of things that LeBron can bring to a game, you're like, this guy should be the leader of a team making a playoff push, but he's a real human being, though. I know he doesn't seem human sometimes, but he's a real human being. And the reality is LeBron ain't locking in defensively on a Wednesday night on a Wednesday night in Boston. Like, it's got to be those special games that wakes LeBron up. It's got to be playoffs that wakes LeBron up. It's just not happening more times than not. And then obviously the injury concerns are still going to be a factor for him, even though he's still really fighting that and battling with that one. I don't know what LeBron James's 20th season looks like outside of him most likely breaking Kareem's record and passing Magic Johnson in assists. It's really tough for me, though, to find a role for LeBron on this Lakers squad because the thought of LeBron James is still just too good.